Hey, everybody. Welcome to this special TikTok Live and I'm pretty sure also Facebook Live multi streaming event itself. Uh, Title The Top 10 Ways to Win at NaNoWriMo. In case you haven't met me yet, my name is Brad Swift. I write under the name of W. Bradford Swift. I am an eco fantasy author and a write on purpose coach. That's obviously WRITE on purpose coach. And I am super pumped to have y'all here today. Whoever's here from TikTok world or from Facebook world, I'm so pleased to be here with you. Um, and here's why. I want to share just a quick, I guess you could say a quick win from my own NaNoWriMo journey. Now, if you're not familiar with that term, NaNoWriMo, it's, I guess you call it an acronym or something like that, for National Novel Writing Month. And it's something that's been going on for years and years. In fact, I believe last year they said something like 400,000 writers participated in National Novel Writing Month, which is the month of November, which seems to fit because, novel, Novel, and November just seems to be a match, doesn't it? So I've been participating for about 10 years, and out of the 10 NaNoWriMo projects that I have participated in, 8 of them are now published and out there in the world. In fact, if you look behind me here, you can see some of the books that are now out in the world available for avid readers no matter where they are. And I'll be honest, I'm pretty proud of that. So whether you're a first timer with NaNoWriMo or maybe you're a veteran, you've been there a number of times and you're considering or you're planning to be there this time, today's session is really for you. I will be delving deep into not just how to reach that coveted 50,000 word milestone. Let me just pause about that. Again, if you're brand new to NaNoWriMo, that is the game that they encourage people to play. That during the month of November, from November 1st to November 30th, your target, your goal, your game, as I like to refer to it, is to write a 50,000 word novel or 50,000 words of a novel during that month, which is a pretty lofty goal. That's like 1,667, I think, words every day, 7 days a week if you do it at that rate. So that's the game. But, how to make this experience. Here's where I like to look from as a write on purpose coach. How can you make that experience a catalyst for your own personal growth as a writer? Now, you may be seeing me kind of going back and forth with my eyes because I've got some notes down here because there's a lot of content I want to cover today. We're going to cover, hopefully, all 10 of these top tips or things that I've learned, from my 10 years of writing with NaNoWriMo. I don't know if we'll get to all of them or not, but we're going to get to as many as we can in the hour. If you have a question, I'm not sure. I'll try to see them here on TikTok. I'm not sure where I would go on Facebook to see the questions itself. But you can leave a question, and if I don't answer it during the actual official part of this event, I will refer to them later and definitely make sure I get the answers to you or let you know I don't know the answer to that question. Which is something I always hate to do, but sometimes I just don't know the answer. So anyway, let's dive into our first tip on how to get the most out of your NaNoWriMo experience. Okay, now this first one is to set clear intentions. Okay, NaNoWriMo tip number 1 is to set clear intentions. And trust me, this one is a real game changer. Before you even put pen or fingers to keys, pen to paper, fingers to the key, set clear intentions. Okay, You see, NaNoWriMo is not just about turning out the words. Well, it's a crucible. That's how I kind of view this NaNoWriMo experience. It's really a crucible for personal growth as a writer. This month-long journey offers you a unique opportunity to really learn more about yourself, your writing style, and your creative process. Now, maybe your goal is to, well, let's see, finally create a consistent writing habit. I know that's something that I had to take on early on, is how to get into a writing habit, consistent writing habit itself. Many of us struggle with writing regularly, so why not make this one of your objectives for writing this year during NaNoWriMo? Something just flashed across the TikTok screen. I don't know what it's about, so it kind of distracted me for a moment. But so you can start small if you need to. Commit to writing just 15 minutes a day. That consistently is key. I have often used and still use fairly often the process that I call, that is called, I don't just call it, it is referred to out in the world as the Pomodoro technique. And this is where you set your stopwatch, most of us have these days on our phones, for a particular period of time. It can be 10 minutes, 15 minutes, it can be 30, 45 minutes. Whatever you set yourself is to go ahead and set that up and start your clock. And then during that period of time, all you do is focus on your writing. Write. And then when that time is up, then you take a break. And again, depending on how long the writing time is, a break might be 2 minutes, or it might be 15 or 20 minutes, and then set another Pomodoro. That's another technique for creating a consistent writing habit. Or let's say you're searching for your unique voice as an author. Well, NaNoWriMo is a great opportunity to experiment with different styles, points of views, or even genres. Allow yourself the freedom to explore this whole world of writing and developing your own voice. You never know what might resonate with you. In fact, one of the NaNoWriMo novels, you can see it right up there, probably can't read it, but it says The Fringe Candidate, was a NaNoWriMo project, and it's not science fiction per se, not fantasy per se, it's really political satire. And I took it on and wrote it and learned a lot about myself, both as a writer and as a person itself. In fact, one of the main characters in there is a whole lot of me that I was not all that proud to have to admit that I have been that periods in my life have been like that. So this is something that you can learn through NaNoWriMo. Remember, NaNoWriMo is more than a word marathon. It's a personal development boot camp for writers. So make it count. Look at it in that streams. Okay, there you go. That's session. Tip number 1, setting clear intentions. That will not only help you reach your 50,000 word target, but also elevate your writing experience in a meaningful experience. Okay. Tip number 2, how to get the most out of your NaNoWriMo experience. Now, this is a big one. I think it's a big one. Align your project with your purpose. What purpose? Well, with your life purpose. Now, you might think this sounds a bit heavy for a writing challenge, but bear with me. See, I was a full-time Life on Purpose coach for more than 20 years. My wife and I ran Life on Purpose Institute. And I can tell you that when your actions are aligned with your deeper purpose, everything changes. Your experience, more ease, there's more enthusiasm, you're more likely to see the project through to completion. Your purpose can literally be a key part of what gets you out in the morning and gets you to your writing desk, or gets you to other aspects of your life as well. Choosing a project that speaks to your heart, your core values, and your aspirations, It turns this from a mere exercise in writing fast into a soulful journey. Now, this is all about not just about turning out the words, as we've talked about before. It's about producing meaningful words. Whether you're aiming to write the next great novel or maybe to pen a powerful memoir, by making sure your project aligns with your life's purpose, you'll find that the daily writing grind isn't a grind at all. I mean, I almost, not every, but almost every day, what pumps me up and gets me out and gets me to my writing desk is my own purpose as a writer, which is to inspire young people to be joyful, lifelong readers, and to also be caring and responsible stewards of the earth and all of its inhabitants. That's why I write. That's why I write eco fantasy so much these days, because that's the purpose that compels me and propels me forward. Now, what's beautiful about this is that when you're in sync with your purpose, you'll find that the usual, get that word out, writer's block and self-doubt tend to take a back seat. You'll be more resilient in facing challenges because you'll be buoyed out by that clarity of your intention. And when things get tough, and let's face it, they will, particularly during the NaNoWriMo challenge, that you can draw upon this alignment to push through, to find that extra ounce of creative energy. So, before you dive into NaNoWriMo, take a moment to reflect, what is your purpose? Trust me on this one. Once you answer that, you're not just writing. You're living your purpose, one word at a time. Number 3, prioritize your writing time. Now, after kind of diving deep into some pretty heady topics, let's shift gears just a bit and get into some ultra practical tip. Prioritizing your writing time. Now, just think about it. Just like you wouldn't skip a workout or a meditation session if you're really serious about your health and your well-being, you should treat your writing time with the same level of priority. This isn't a commitment to hitting the 50K word count, or not just that. It's a commitment, again, as I've said before, it's a commitment to your personal growth and your creative expression. So think about it this way. We make time for the things we value, right? Well, sure. So if you truly value this writing journey and what it can bring into your life, new skills, insights, maybe even a new career, then you need to make time for it. And I don't mean when you get a chance. I mean deliberately blocking out a specific time in your day, every day, and treating it as sacred. I'm going to repeat that. Every day, a specific time, maybe 15 minutes, maybe an hour, maybe more. It depends on your own, what's going on in your life. But blocking out a specific time in your day, every day, particularly for the month of November during NaNoWriMo, and treating it as sacred time. When I say sacred, I mean it's non-negotiable. Tell your friends, tell your family members, even your pet, that this is your time. If need be, stick a do not disturb sign on your door if you have to. Turn off your phone. Log out of social media. Remove anything and everything that could possibly distract you. And then what do? Sit down and write. No excuses, no delays. The benefits of this are twofold. First, it helps you create a daily writing habit, which is invaluable well beyond the month of NaNoWriMo, the November month of NaNoWriMo. And second, it helps you grow as a person, which again, as my perspective as a Write on Purpose coach, writing is just as much about your personal development as a person and as a writer as whatever word counts and books you end up publishing. Discipline, focus, determination. These are all like muscles. And the more you exercise them, the stronger they get. Okay, so right now, if you're watching this right now, pull out your calendar and block out your daily writing time. Make it as consistent as possible. Could be in the morning, could be in the afternoon, could be late at night. Doesn't matter as long as it works for you. There may be some days, say Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, that morning works. But then on Tuesday, Thursday, and the weekend, maybe an evening works. Block it out. And the important thing is to stick to it. Like your own personal ritual. You'll thank yourself later, I promise. Now, there you have it. That is a straightforward, practical way that packs a lot of punch in the personal development department, as well as with your word count. Prioritize your writing, and you prioritize yourself. That is tip how to number. We're going to pause in the list of the top 10. And I'm going to put a bonus one in here. You know, because this to me is part of what I'm so excited about for this NaNoWriMo. Like I said, I am going to be participating as an author, going for writing 50,000 words of my next novel, Eco Guardians. And as well as that, as a Write on Purpose coach, I'm going to, in fact, today is I'm officially announcing my Time to Give Back project. And this is something I'm really thrilled to share with you. Stepping outside of the top 10 list for just a moment, because I have this bonus tip that I'm particularly excited about. This is my own way of giving back both to the NaNoWriMo community, the organization, and the writers who participate, and to all the aspiring writers and all those authors who have contributed so much to my life as an avid reader. You can consider it my way of paying it forward for all the good that writing has brought into my life, and there's a lot. So here's the bonus. Schedule a NaNoWriMo Power Boost coaching session. These are pro bono that I'm offering for free 30-minute coaching sessions where I'll be wearing my Write on Purpose coaching cap. And I can't emphasize enough how crucial this additional guidance could be when you're navigating the challenges of NaNoWriMo. As an experienced author and a Write on Purpose coach, I know the value of personalized coaching. So, from October the 16th to November 30th, you have the opportunity to really level up your NaNoWriMo journey. Think about this when you're most likely to need that extra push. Is it during the prep phase? This is why we're starting this on October 16th. It might be during the prep phase when you're trying to set yourself up for success. Or maybe it's smack in the middle of November when the initial excitement has worn off and you're finding it tough to stay motivated. Or perhaps it's towards the end when you're so close and you just need that final push to cross the finish line. Now, whatever the case may be, a targeted coaching session can be the difference between running out of steam and reaching new heights, both in your writing and your personal development. You'll get insights tailored specifically to where you are at, whether you're a brand new writer, experienced writer, whether it's your first time at NaNoWriMo or your 15th time, and it can make all the difference in the world. So there you have it, your bonus tip for NaNoWriMo success. I hope that some of you, many of you, will take advantage of this unique offer. Remember, they're pro bono. I'm not charging for these. You will have the opportunity at the end, if you want to make a contribution, you can do so. I'll have a system set up for that, and a portion of that contribution will be shared with NaNoWriMo, my way of, again, helping to keep this organization running and this program running each year. And it's also my way of investing in you, just as you're investing in yourself. So, to claim, if you're watching this now, have a pen and paper ready, okay? To claim your Power Boost session, go to my website. That's at wbradswift.com/nanocoach. That's NaNoCoach. Read the information there, complete the prep questionnaire at the bottom of that page, and then there'll be a link there where you can schedule your time with me. It's that simple. I trust those of you who hear my words will take, I guess you could say, my coaching to get more coaching. 30-minute pro bono power boost in preparation during your journey or at the final stage of your NaNoWriMo journey itself. Okay, bonus tip number 4. Not counting the bonus one right now. All right, the bonus tip that can make or break your NaNoWriMo experience. Build a support network. Now, you might think that writing is a solitary act, and it is, at least to some extent. But you don't have to navigate this journey completely alone. In fact, I strongly advise against it. Here's why. Support networks can offer invaluable resources that can uplift you, not just as a writer, but as a person. They give you emotional boosts on the days you're down. And trust me, you will have those days during NaNoWriMo. They offer constructive feedback to refine your work, and even a little tough love to nudge you when you start procrastinating. It's not just about helping you hit the 50,000 word mark, remember? It's about growth. It's about stretching yourself emotionally and creatively. And it's about stepping into a bigger version of who you can be. Your support network helps you build resilience and tenacity, qualities that are essential in every facet of life, not just as a writer. Think of it this way. The community you build around yourself is a mirror reflecting different aspects of your own capabilities. And the more diverse and rich this community is, the more you'll come to understand not just about writing, but also about yourself. So reach out, build bridges, make connections. By building a robust support network, you'll not just be setting yourself up for a successful NaNoWriMo, you're fortifying yourself for life's other challenges. Because trust me, the skills and qualities you'll develop here will serve you well beyond November. And one of the other note I want to make about this is NaNoWriMo, the organization, which you can find and join if you haven't at NaNoWriMo.org, is really a great place to start. They have local events, they have local write-ins throughout the world. They have online forums, really a great resource for actually creating your online community as well for that extra support. Number 5, running out of fingers. Let's use the one without my deformed hand. Here we go. Number 5, Embrace the learning curve. Now, I know the journey to 50,000 words is not going to be smooth sailing all the way. Again, I've done it for 10 years, and it's still each time it's not always smooth sailing. You're bound to run into plot holes, character inconsistencies, and maybe even a bit of writer's block. But here's the thing: these aren't setbacks. These are opportunities. Let me say that again. Those things, whether it's writer's block, plot holes that you're not sure what to do with, character inconsistencies, or whatever, these are not setbacks, they are opportunities. Again, remember, NaNoWriMo isn't just a writing marathon. It's a life lesson compressed into 30 days. When you encounter an obstacle, whether it's a plot issue or a bout of low motivation, you have two choices. You can either throw up your hands and say, well, this is where my story ends, or you can roll up your sleeves and say, all right, let's figure this out. Or even go, let me go to my community and with them help me figure it out. And guess what? That attitude of problem solving or creating challenges as puzzles to be decoded, that's a huge beneficial life skill. It's not just about creating compelling narratives or even hitting that 50,000 word target. It's about, again, building resilience, enhancing your problem solving skills, and developing an approach to life that challenges, that's based on curiosity rather than just frustration. And yeah, you might get frustrated, but you don't have to stay there. You can shift gears and shift to a more curious nature. The skills you refine while wrestling with a difficult chapter, or while figuring out the motivations of a complex character, are the same skills that will help you navigate intricate relationships or complex projects or tough situations in your everyday life. Embracing the learning curve in writing essentially trains you to do the same in life. So, don't dread the hurdles. Instead, look at them as training ground, as building blocks for a stronger, more resilient you. Not just as a writer, but as a human being navigating the complexities of life. Because aren't we both? Sure, of course we are. And here it is. Embracing the learning curve, not just as a part of your writing journey, but as a facet of your life journey. Trust me, the person who comes out at the end of NaNoWriMo is going to be far more equipped to handle life's challenges, simply because you chose to embrace the learning rather than fear it. Number 6, celebrate. Celebrate not just at the end of NaNoWriMo, but celebrate the small wins. Now, when you're starting down the barrel, when you're staring down the barrel of a 50,000 words, it's easy to think, I can't celebrate until I hit that goal. But let me tell you, that's setting yourself up for a month of unnecessary stress and self-imposed pressure. It's essential to remember that a journey of 50,000 words starts with that first sentence. You've got to appreciate each building block that gets you closer to the goal. Did you complete a difficult scene that's been puzzling you? Did you finally make a breakthrough with a character who's been giving you trouble? Maybe you even figured out how to plug up that gapping plot hole. Those are all victories. Small, yeah, but victories nonetheless. Celebrating these moments does more than just boost your mood. It shifts your mindset. It takes the focus away from what you have left to do and places it on what you already have achieved. It's a way of patting yourself on the back and saying, hey, I'm making progress here. And progress, my friend, is what we're aiming for. Progress, not perfection. I'm going to repeat that for those of you who might be perfectionists out there. We're talking about progress, not perfection. Okay. So what's the takeaway? Start celebrating the small wins. Make it a ritual. Whether that's doing a little happy dance, as I like to do, my dog who's right down there at my feet, I do great. Happy dance. Or maybe treating yourself to a cup of your favorite tea or stronger beverage. But don't go too strong on the beverage because remember, you want to keep your creativity flowing. Or even taking 5 minutes to just sit and savor the accomplishment and the achievement. Acknowledge the progress you're making, not just in terms of word count, but personal growth and self-discovery. Trust me, this is another game changer. Okay, there you go. How are we doing here? Going pretty well in time. Where small wins add up to big achievements. Don't wait for November 30th to pat yourself on the back. Do so regularly. So now, watch how this simple act of acknowledging your progress and your small wins transforms not just your writing journey, but your entire life. All right, so we're going on to number 7. Experiment and explore. Folks, NaNoWriMo is like your personal writing playground. And who doesn't love a good playground, right? My community just in Jackson Park, near Flat Rock here, just built an amazing playground. My 2.5-year-old grandson has come over all the way from Candler, about 40 minutes away, just to hang out in that amazing playground. So, playgrounds aren't just for kids. These playgrounds like the one I'm just describing, there are swings, there are slides, and all sorts of fun stuff. So in writing terms, that means this is your chance to dabble in different styles, tones, and even genres that maybe you've not ventured into before. Again, as I shared before, while I write mostly science fiction and fantasy and lately eco-fiction, a few years ago, as part of my NaNoWriMo experience, I wrote, The Fringe Candidate, which was a political satire. And I'm very proud of that book. I think it really held together well, even though I tried to convince my muse for quite a while before I started writing it that my muse had the wrong Swift, that it was Jonathan Swift that, was known for his political satire. But anyway, I went for it, and it was a great NaNoWriMo experience. See, we often talk about finding your voice as a writer, but the truth is your voice can have different tones, pitches, and even accents, metaphorically speaking. The more you experiment, the more you discover the range and versatility of your writing voice. And hey, you might stumble upon a style or genre that resonates with you in ways you never anticipated. Now, let's get a little real here. Not every experiment is going to be a resounding success. You may write a chapter in a style that you ultimately decide isn't for you, and that's okay. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's a part of it. Those failed experiments, and I put failed in air quotes, are incredibly valuable because they teach you what doesn't work, which is just as important as discovering what does. And remember, each experiment, whether successful or not, adds to your skill set as a writer and as a creative thinker and individual itself. Okay, I'm going to pause for just a moment. Well, let me go ahead and finish this one first. Let's tie this all back to personal development for a second. The willingness to set out of your comfort zone, misspoke that, to step outside of your comfort zone is not just good writing advice, it's good life advice. It's how you grow. It's how you discover new facets of yourself and how you can make your life richer with more varied tapestry. And that kind of growth isn't limited to November. It's something you'll carry with you year-round. So your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to treat NaNoWriMo like your creative laboratory. Mix things up, be bold, experiment, and most importantly, have fun with it. By doing so, you'll not only enrich your NaNoWriMo experience, but also contribute to your journey of personal growth. There we are. Tip number 7, just completed. Experiment and explore. Trust me, your future self, both as a writer and as a person, will thank you for following that tip. Okay, we're moving on to number 8. Number 8, stay physically active. All right. This is a biggie. It really is. Stay physically active. You heard me right. You might think NaNoWriMo is all about butt in chair, fingers on the keyboard. Yes, that's a huge part of it. But let me drop a truth bomb here for you. Your body is the vehicle that carries your brilliant mind, and if that vehicle breaks down, well, you're not going anywhere, either in your writing or in your life. And I know, I've had health issues. 74, had to pause a moment and remember, 74, a few years ago, I had diagnosis of cancer. I was burning myself and working. I've adjusted things, and this is an area, while it's number 8, I still think it's a very important tip. Let's talk about the obvious. Physical activity gets your blood pumping, and that means more oxygen to your brain. And when your brain is well oxygenated, well, you think more clearly, you're more alert, and your creativity skyrockets. And that means better writing and a smoother NaNoWriMo experience. Taking it a step further, movement releases endorphins, which are basically your body's self-feel-good chemicals. So taking a break for some stretching or a quick walk around the block can actually elevate your mood and help you tackle that next chapter with a more positive outlook. That's one of the reasons I love having Rascal in my life. Rascal is my fairly new canine companion. He loves to walk. He's become a advocate for squirrels. He as he's walking, he's looking in the tree. Where's the next squirrel? Where's the next squirrel? And it just gives me a great opportunity and quote excuse to get up and get away from my desk for 5-10 minutes itself. So you're training yourself to prioritize your well-being, and that's a commitment that extends again far beyond the month of November and the NaNoWriMo experience. So what's my challenge to you on this one? Don't just make writing a daily habit this month, or the month of November. You can go ahead and start now. Make movement a daily habit as well. Whether that's set up jumping jacks every hour, or a morning yoga routine, or a brisk evening walk, find a way to incorporate physical activity into your NaNoWriMo journey. Not only will your creativity thank you, but your overwhelming well-being will as well. Okay, so let's keep the energy high as we move on to tip number 9. Get them up there somehow. There we go. Number 9, reflect and revise. All right. Now, I know we're all laser focused on November and hitting that 50,000 word mark. But let's talk about what happens when the calendar flips to December. It does happen, right? After November 30th comes December 1st. Believe it or not, the NaNoWriMo journey doesn't have to end when November does. In fact, in many ways, it's just the beginning. Again, I'm pointing to some books here. See if I can get I can't. Okay, we'll just leave it. Those are some of the books. There are 8 of them that were from my NaNoWriMo. Reflection is a crucial part of any growth process, and the post-nano period is a perfect time to reflect. You've just spent an entire month diving deep into your writing, setting and achieving milestones, and probably facing more than a few challenges. Now's the time to step back and take a holistic view of what you've done and what you've accomplished. First, consider your writing. What parts of your story are you most proud of? Where did the writing flow easily, and where was it a struggle? This isn't about improving the manuscript that you've just written, not yet. It's about understanding yourself better as a writer. And yes, that's a continual process. You'll always be growing, changing, and evolving. And reflecting on your work helps you understand the direction you're heading in. And this can be another good opportunity to do 2 of the tips at the same time. Taking your casual walking around the block, whatever, and reflecting on the progress that you've been making. But let's not stop there. This is also about personal development after all. Ask yourself, what have you learned from your own work habits, your own creative impulses, and even your own limitations? Were there times when you discovered new levels of resilience or tenacity? When did you feel most aligned with your life purpose? Those are moments to cherish and to learn from. And don't forget to ask, what didn't work? Maybe you found out that you're not a night owl after all, or that certain writing environments just doesn't suit you. It's not just about celebrating your victories. It's about learning about the things that held you back. The challenges you faced during NaNoWriMo offer valuable insights into what you need to work on, not just as a writer, but also as a person. And hey, once you've reflected, go ahead and revise. Not just your manuscript, though you should definitely start doing that, but your approach to writing and life in general. Take what you've learned and apply it to your next project, your next month, your next year. That's the beauty of NaNoWriMo. It's not just a 30-day sprint. It's a learning experience that can inform the rest of your writing career and your personal journey. So don't forget to take that time to reflect and revise, because the insights you gain could be as rewarding as the writing itself. Okay, we're almost to the finish. Excuse me, my eye is itching. Scratch that. We're almost to the finish line. Stick around for our final, and I would say maybe most empowering tip. But for now, let's celebrate the journey, both the writing and the growth it brings. And on to tip number 10. Tip number 10, aim for a higher target. Okay. Tip number 10 is aim for a higher target. You heard it right. While the 50,000 word target is the centerpiece of NaNoWriMo, it's not the limit. It's not the limit. We don't have to limit ourselves to just that because you're more than a word count. Let me say that again. You're more than a word count. Your goals, your ambitions, and your development, these things are, well, they just can't be summed up in a number. You know, that distraction over there. So here's a thought. What if NaNoWriMo is just the first step in a larger journey? What if instead of seeing November as the end game, you view it as the launch pad for something even greater? Let me tell you, as someone who has seen 8 of my 10 NaNoWriMo projects go on to be published works, the journey doesn't have to stop when November ends. Imagine this. It's a year from now, or maybe even just a few months, and you're holding a published copy. Let me just pull out one of my books here. You're holding a published copy of your book in your hand. Or maybe you're seeing it on an e-book platform, or even hearing it as an audiobook. It's no longer just a draft in your computer. It's a finished product that people can read, enjoy, and learn from. That satisfaction, my friend, is something that will stick with you far longer than the high of hitting 50,000 words. When you set your goals on a higher target, like completing and publishing your work, a couple of things happen. First, your motivation gets a huge boost. You're not just writing to write, you're writing to share your voice, your story, and your wisdom with the world. You're writing with a sense of purpose and destiny. The stakes are higher, yes, but so are the rewards. The journey will challenge you to grow, not just as a writer, but as a person. You'll have to learn about editing, about storytelling, about the publishing process, and maybe even about some marketing. Each of these steps offers its own opportunities for personal development. Lastly, aim for a higher target means you're committing to seeing your work through to the end. It's not just about a single month or frenzied writing. This is about what comes after the editing, the polishing, and yes, the publishing. And when you commit to that, you're developing a kind of resilience and long-term vision that's applicable in every area of your life. Those are the sessions. 10 tips plus the bonus. Here again, if you're still here or you're watching any of this, let me just reiterate the bonus. It's 10 the opportunity not only to work with these 10 bonuses, but also to go to wbrad.swift.com/nanocoach. That's NaNoCoach. Read the information there, fill out the prep form at the bottom of that page, and then go to the link there to schedule your pro bono 30-minute Power Boost session with me. These will be starting officially on October the 16th, and they are completely free. It's my opportunity to pay it forward and give back to other writers who have contributed to me in so many ways. And at the end of the session, I'll point you to where, if you care to make a contribution, that contribution, whatever donation you make, will be split with the NaNoWriMo organization as, again, my way of giving back to the tremendous difference they have made in my writer's journey as well.